In this video, we're going to talk about nested loops. And you can actually nest any loop that you want. You can have a while, and obviously this is a bad idea, but you could have a nested loop of 2 while loops. You could actually have a nested loop with a while, and then into a for, I is less than 900, and, plus I, and do something there. You can do this, as many times. Whoops, missed an I there. You can nest any two or more loops, so you could actually nest, continuing onward and so on and so forth. Typically, it is usually, I guess, it's most common to nest 4 loops together, but once again, it is possible to do a nesting of any kind of loop that you'd like. But for the demonstration here, we'll go ahead and just show nesting 2 for loops and kind of show how things work with that. So I'll go ahead and just make a for loop, and we'll do int I equals 0, and we'll just say I is less than 5. And then we'll go ahead and do plus plus I. And then I'll make another for loop, and we'll say int, and this time we'll do j. And we'll have j equal to 0 as well, and we'll do j is less than 10, and then we'll do plus plus j. Okay, now if we think about this just logically, we have this outer loop, which will run 5 times. And then we have this inner loop, which will run 10 times for every time that the top loop runs once. Meaning that when this one runs once, then our nested loop will then run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Before it drops out, and then our outer loop actually runs again. And so then this one will once again run 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. And so doing some pretty basic math, we can see that 5, 5 right here, and 10 right here, 5 times 10 gives us a whopping total of 45. Obviously not, I'm just kidding, it's 50. But it gives us 50 times running. So nested loops really make a pretty big difference, because then if we do, for int k equals 0 and k is less than, even if we just do 2, then if we do 5 times 10 times 2, then we're already up to 100 just by one extra loop that happens to run 2 times is all. So this really can get out of hand quickly, and that does take quite a toll on your performance as well of your program. But that's not super important for now. So let's go ahead and we'll just take a look here, and we'll just say, cout I, and then we'll have a colon, and that looks pretty good. And then we will cout, let's go ahead and do this. We'll cout space, and then j. And then we'll go ahead and output an end line right here. And so this should pretty much mimic exactly what I had before, except for in this case we'll start at 0, and then we'll have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this will run all the way down until this is at 4, and then 0, 1, 2, blah, blah, blah. And so let's go ahead and just make sure that that works. Let me get this off the screen here, and then we'll run it using Control F5. And sure enough, 0, and we get 0 through 9, 1, and that's, once again, 0 through 9, and so on and so forth. And so we can see that this did, in fact, run a total of 50 times. And so, we have more than that outputting, but the inner loop ran 0 through 9 is 10, and then we have 5, so this right here is just 50. And then obviously we have our little output label, so we outputted 55 times, but really it's just 50, so that's okay. And so once again, this is how to build a nested, in this case, for loop, but just a nested loop. This can come in handy for many things, mostly like multi-dimensional arrays, which you'll get into later in this class. But it can be used for outputting grids like I have here, and just other things like that.